Yo, what is going on? Wishing you guys a very happy Thursday. Let me see if my framing is right on this. First, I was
And I'm talking
experimenting
about
trying
the
to make sure I could run a video, but I didn't realize I got my framing wrong on my camera. What's going on? Hope you guys are doing well. This is our weekly Thursday Way of Waters live. I did not get a chance to get at you guys last Thursday for a reason that I will articulate shortly. Um, those of you on Twitter or X, this one is a little bit more intimate affair. This was a little bit more intimate affair. This was a little bit more dressed down. This was a little bit more personal. Um, you know, just in this as I chronicle my my spiritual search and journey. Whereas it's kind of how I recover from the fire breathing Tuesday live. So that is it. And I see already. See, this is why I need the tools of spirituality because of people like Be Humble out here talking about time. See, that's why we need to find our moments of peace and serenity and clarity because we all have Be Humbles in our life. We all have Be Humbles in our life when we show up on time and they will hit you with about time. I appreciate him for that. And shalom to Auntie Melanie as well. Shalom to you. Now, I would like to start as I like starting on Thursdays with a nice little videos to help me get through my week. So this is me having absolutely no money going to look at expensive things.
I'm talking about the white one. Like, what's the lowest you would take for this?
The lowest I can do is probably 75K.
75. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. For that in that color, yeah, that's not bad at all. See, I'm not even really thinking about getting the Rolex today, but you say this 100% pure gold.
Yeah, 100%.
So how much you want for this?
The whole necklace is just a
Yeah,
charm.
like this whole thing with the gold and the white gold on there. I like that whole thing on there.
Something like this, I probably let go for about 1,500.
15. That ain't bad at all. 15. Yeah, I might be able to do that. 15. Yeah, I want to see how it look on me though. How much they say they wanted for this?
They're looking for 140 million
140.
cash.
It's not bad. I might be able to do that. And I'm talking about the white one, like.
This was funny to me. So I was definitely raised in the if you ain't got it, you can't get it. I was raised with it, you ain't got it, you can't get it. And I think that's really helped me stay out of debt. It's really helped me manage my funds during different times in my life. It's helped me be okay with not having, when you see some of the things that other people are flossing, definitely on social media and stuff like that. I do kind of wonder though, like what the other side is like. Like I see Auntie Melanie talking about window wishing, and I know that there can be a lot of misery and frustration associated with window wishing. It's one of the reasons why I get triggered by celebrity worship and like lifestyles of the rich and famous and crap like that. Just always triggers me because I'm like, why are you spending your time watching people enjoy services, retreats, homes, all sorts of things that you can't possibly afford? And certainly not if you're spending your time watching it, as opposed to doing whatever it is that you feel like you need to do in order to attain those things, if that's what you aspire to. But that's also not a whole lot of fun. You know what I mean? That's also not a whole lot of fun. So I guess there is some there's some enjoyment, there's some fun that I guess I miss out on. I get, am I just a killjoy? Am I just a killjoy out here complaining? Maybe. I mean, it kept me out of debt. It's kept me out of debt and left me not really quite understanding. You know, for me, I'm like, I couldn't enjoy something if I knew, like, I never enjoyed owing people stuff. Like, I never enjoyed owing people money. I could never really borrow money unless I was in absolutely dire straits, and then I was happy to have it. But if I wasn't in absolutely dire straits, I could never borrow money because it didn't feel right owing people money. Like, I felt like I couldn't really enjoy the thing that I borrowed because I know I have to give it back. But that's just, you know, maybe that's just the way that my brain works. All right. Oh, I was going to shut down the music, but I forgot. This account is so far from being monetized, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So you know what? Let's just have some fun. You know what? I'm going window wish, Auntie Melanie, and I'm just going to let it ride. I'm just going to let it ride today. You know, but today I'm going to be a different person. How 80s kids live without today's technology. I played a video from them earlier that was talking about how what happened when you woke up at a sleepover in the 80s before everybody else, and it was just her staring at the wall. The amount of staring and pondering life that we did in the 80s and the early 90s. What no tablet, what no cell phone. None. If you were lucky, maybe when I got to my preteens, we had like those little Tiger games. Remember those little Tiger games? If you were lucky, you might have been able to pick up one of those. And then Game Boy, when Game Boy came out, if you was lucky. But then you didn't want to make noise because you didn't want to wake everybody else up. So you basically playing the Game Boy on silent. And I don't know if you've ever played what do you even call the graphics on a Game Boy? It's the black and white, but it's not even really black and white. It's like this dark blue. It's like this navy blue versus green. It just my childhood. What up, Eric Washington? What up, Kit? Kit the Misfit Toys. By the way, I mentioned to you guys just to cross streams a little bit. I mentioned you guys looking for help, and because my ideas is outstripping my capacity, Kit has been one of the guys who's chipped in and helped on the other channel. So he's done the logo for this channel, which is fantastic. But I also want to give him a shout out. The Ann Coulter video on the other channel with Ann Coulter and Vivek Ramaswamy. That one is absolutely killing it. And he did the thumbnail for that. So shout out to you, kid. LCD screen, as we call the LCD screen. I feel like in some time in the future, we're going to find out that LCD screen just shaved years off our lives. It's just no way that staring at that screen could have been good for us. It's no way. Is the LCD screen like our generation's Agent Orange? Like, is it or asbestos? That's probably a better example. Sorry to all my officers out there. Hey, be humble. Tell them, scratch that. Is that our generation's asbestos? I think LCD may be our generation's asbestos. And I see Be Humble saying he may need to holler at you as well. That's what we're here for. That'll be great. All right, here we go. Okay, I have made this claim before, and I stand by it. The jump from the cell phone to the smartphone was the biggest leap. That was the biggest leap. That was the biggest leap. When you could do your emails and all that kind of stuff like on the go, that was the biggest leap. However, I will go down on this ship. the jump from the corded rotary, or even if you had one of the corded touch tones, the jump from that to the cordless was a bigger jump than the jump from the cordless to the cell phone. I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to stand on that. Being able to move around my home, being able to go about my day freely in my home and be able to hear and pick up the phone, or be able to just go wherever I wanted in my home. That was a more significant leap for me than having a cell phone. Now, maybe it's because I was literally like the last person in my friend group to have a cell phone, so maybe I don't appreciate it. I see Be Humble and Kit trying to get at one another. Kit, I don't know if you want to put your info out here, but I have both y'all's emails, so I can connect y'all after this if you don't want to put it up. All right. The smartwatch. I never had, I mean, obviously I have a smartwatch now. I never had one of those. Those were dope. I mean, having one of those in junior high school was like having a car in high school. It really was. Like the kids, you couldn't tell the kids that was walking around with one of these nothing. You couldn't tell them nothing. Yeah. Yep. I remember that. I think my favorite, even though it was a trash piece of technology, and I mean trash, the Discman. The Discman was terrible, but I loved it. I appreciated the Discman so much. The ability to, there was a 7th grader on the bus when I was in 8th grade that had a Discman, and all the rest of us just had Walkmans, and we literally plotted on this dude. Like, we literally plotted on his downfall because he had a Discman just about every day of the whole first semester. Like, it was that deep. And I remember when I first got my first Discman, bro, I mean, I would just sit and just change songs just because I could. I would just change songs just to go back, just to feel the amazement of being able to change songs at will like that. The Discman was fire, but it was a trash piece of technology. Don't you try and move. Don't you get up. Don't you even think about it. You listening to music? Oh, you got to use the bathroom? You should have thought about that before you put this Discman on. You should have thought about that before you put this Discman on. Now you soiled yourself. You're just going to have to soil yourself because ain't going to be no music playing on the way to the bathroom. Okay? And if you try it, your Discman may not work again ever. Like, they were that sensitive. Discmen were more sensitive than the cutting edge of technology today. Somehow more sensitive than the cutting edge of technology today, but also more sensitive than record players. I don't know how that happened. Discmen were more sensitive than record players or whatever they got going on right now in a factory that ain't even hit the shelves yet. I have no idea. But they were fire. Yep, I definitely knew the mixtapes. I mean, you ain't lived until you went to the store and you bought a whole package of Maxells. And unless you bought a whole package of Maxells or TDK, if your room didn't have a whole case of blank Maxells or TDKs, I don't even know you. Oh, encyclopedias. I never liked encyclopedias. I'm gonna be honest. Encyclopedias was never. If you think of encyclopedias were, I get why schools and libraries would have encyclopedias. How they were able to convince people to purchase encyclopedias for their homes, knowing that the information was going to be outdated within 3 to 5 years, was crazy. I don't know how they managed to do that. I'm fortunate that they didn't get us like that. They wasn't about to get us to buy no information that was going to be obsolete the moment it was printed. Nah, we wasn't doing that. Passing messages. Yeah. Y'all ever have the thing, the little four box thing, and then they would tell you who you was gonna marry and what all your future was and whatnot. I remember being very heavily invested in those. I remember being very heavily invested in my future being told by these little 4-box things. What's that? An Atari? I didn't have one of those. I didn't have one of those. I came out. I'm early '80s, so I looked up to Nintendo. Like the older boys had Nintendo, and then I finally got one. So I had a Nintendo. I was probably kind of late to Nintendo. And then Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis was most of, that was like my prime kid years was Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. I definitely had Nintendo, and I definitely remember Nintendo. Atari, I don't remember. That's my bad. I don't. I had a Commodore 64, if that counts. I had a Commodore 64, but nah, I didn't do Atari. Yep, there it is. There it is. You remember the gun with Duck Hunt? Remember how you couldn't just shoot one time because of the lag? So you just had to hold the thing. You just had to hold the thing at the screen and just keep shooting and just follow the ducks as they went around. And you wonder why we got trigger happy officers walking around today, because they was sitting there playing Duck Hunt, where you just gotta shoot. That was a very dark show. MTV was our YouTube. Man, I mean, we had a thing in the DMV called the Box. I don't know if y'all remember the Box, where people would call in and order videos. That was the cool thing when I was coming up, was the Box. I think it was called the Box. You would call and order videos, and for some reason we couldn't understand why whatever the number one video was, whether it was Oaktown 357 or Can't Touch This or Thuggish Ruggish Bone or whatever the case may be, whatever the number one song was would just play 12 to 15 times in a row before they broke it up with something else, and then they went back to the number one song. And I was like, I just couldn't for the life of me understand who is calling the Box and spending their money to play something that they just seen 10 times in a row. Like I couldn't for the life of me understand that. This was clearly a more innocent time. This was clearly a more innocent time where I couldn't even conceive of the possibility of record companies stuffing the ballot. I couldn't even conceive of that. You know what I mean? Like that was totally beyond my realm of imagination. I couldn't even conceive of that. But clearly that's what was going on. Hysteria when you're near. Okay, I definitely never used a road atlas. But what I did do was print out MapQuest directions. I 1,000% printed out MapQuest directions, and the futility of having printed out directions where you had to get every single turn right, or else your directions were totally obsolete. Totally obsolete. If you take one wrong turn, you're done. Just throw them in the trash. Just throw them in the trash. I cannot believe that we used to print out MapQuest directions and leave like that was going to do something. Like that was really the thing that was going to get us there. But we were excited to have it. We were excited to have it. And then people ask questions. People wonder, you know, our kids are smart today because they have all this technology. You know, are they learning and retaining information like they used to because they can get the answer to any question that they ask, like at the tip of their finger? Well, I can tell you this. As somebody who came up with MapQuest and then was one of the first to get the little portable GPSs in the car, I can't go nowhere without that joint. I can't go nowhere. I cannot walk up the street to the mailbox without my GPS. I can barely even get to the refrigerator. I can barely even get downstairs to the refrigerator to get water before my live without checking my GPS. I'm that bad. So if my sense of direction and how it has been influenced by access to GPS is any indication, then they got no hope. They got no hope. Hopefully they're better than me. Yeah, I remember that. I remember boobies and boobless. Yeah, I remember boobies and boobless. I remember that. That joke hit for probably 4 or 5 years straight. That joke hit. Just whenever you in a new class, you just bam. You know what I mean? Whenever you in a new class at the beginning of the year, at some point within the first couple weeks, bam, hit them with the boobies. Bam, hit them with the boobless. You know what I mean? Like, just that joke hit for like a good 5 years, a good half decade. That joke hit. That was our sense of humor. Yep. I claim it. I'll claim it. Yep. We did it. And if I was a jury, I wouldn't convict. That's all we had. If I was a jury, I wouldn't convict. Yep. DVDs, movies. Yep. Come on. What is that? Oh, that's the writing thing, and then you erase it. I never liked those. I wasn't in on that. And I would add Etch-a-Sketch to that too. I had no patience for Etch-a-Sketch. I'm sorry. They were trash to me. Was this how we took screenshots? I never did that. What is that? She got a piece of rubber? No, I never did that. I don't know what that is. Yeah, y'all gotta hit me today. Our FaceTime. The only tracking our parents had. I don't know about tracking, but I definitely put the bad baseball cards in the spokes of the wheels of the bike. That's for sure. Which was really dumb. I mean, the card was destroyed by the time you got to the end of the block. You literally were still, you could still see your home and your card was destroyed. That was dumb, but we did it. There we go. That was funny to me. Damn it. Somebody said the Luke videos, super villain. Yeah, I remember when the Luke videos would come on. I remember when the Luke videos was come on. Luke, I gotta apologize to Luke because Luke was doing too much for my young ears and my young eyes. I couldn't really appreciate it at the time. I could not really appreciate Luke at the time. It was not until I got older that I was like, oh, that's what that was. Oh, okay. I got it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I get it. It was like years later where I had those revelations about Luke. So I didn't properly appreciate him at the time. Kid said Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Mike Tyson's Punch Out was the game. I think I gave my top five. I think I gave my top five for Nintendo a while ago, but I would have to go Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Tecmo Bowl / Super Tecmo Bowl, Double Dribble, Mario 3, and Contra. Think that's the five. Think that's the five. Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Tecmo / Super Tecmo Bowl. In no particular order. I mean, if I had to rank them, I would probably go. I'd probably go Tecmo, Super Tecmo. Then I love Double Dribble. Double Dribble was fire. I love Double Dribble was fire. I love the. I'll probably go Tecmo, Super Tecmo Bowl, Double Dribble, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Mario 3, and then Contra. That will probably be my five. And then Mario 1 and 2 would probably both be in my, and maybe even Mario Kart. Mario had a run. Mario had a run. And people always sleep on Mario 2. I rock with Mario 2. I rock with Mario 2. If Mario 2 wasn't as weird and funky as it was, you wouldn't appreciate Mario 3 the way we appreciate Mario 3. Mario 2 would have been Mario 3, and then Mario 3 would have been awful. But now, no, they gave you a palate cleanser in Mario 2, which was all psychedelic. You know what I mean? Mario during his teenage years experimenting with various different types of graphics. You know what I mean? I appreciated that. You know, Mario needed to go through that period of experimentation so that he could reach the maturity that he showed in Mario 3. That's part of Mario's growth. Yeah, I think I'll go Tecmo, Super Tecmo, Double Dribble, Mike Tyson, Mario 3, and Contra. And you could legitimately put Mario 3 at 2, 3, or 4. Really. It could really be at 2, 3, or 4. It probably should be at 2, if I'm being honest. I just really like Double Dribble a lot. Double Dribble. That's probably the most patriotic I've ever been. Is the beginning of Double Dribble. I think the beginning of Double Dribble is the most happy I've ever been to hear that song. There you go. Eric Washington said, remember party lines. I do not. I don't know what that was. What was that like a shared phone line? That doesn't seem very functional. I'm just going to say a shared phone line, if I understand a party line correctly, a shared phone line doesn't seem very functional. You know what I mean? That's kind of like a shared bed or a shared television amongst a whole neighborhood. Like that doesn't really. It's a lot of private conversations happen on the phone. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? I don't know. See, people said, Be Humble said, I use MapQuest from California to Florida. Wait a minute. So you use MapQuest from point to point, right? Is that what you're saying? You used it from point to point? Because obviously you didn't drive it straight. So I have questions about. I challenge that. Be Humble. I challenge that. I think I'm going with Eric Washington. MapQuest was the worst. MapQuest was the worst. Etch a Sketch. I actually had a couple that I didn't erase for years. Okay. Metroid. You know what I never really got with was Legend of Zelda. Apologies to any Legends of Zelda fans that are mad that that's not in my top 5. It's not a downgrade on Legend of Zelda. I just never really got it. It was never fun to me. Was never fun to me. I'm sorry. Bart versus the Space Mutants. Was that a Nintendo game? Wait, be humble. You say you beat your son at it recently. Now, wait, do you have a Nintendo or do you have like an emulator on your computer? Either way, how young or how at what age can I start my son playing video games? Because that would be fire. My daughter can probably do it now. Now I know that's not considered good parenting to all of a sudden start playing video games with a 2-year-old. That's probably frowned upon. Is that frowned upon? That's probably frowned upon. But my daughter could probably do it now. Been a loco. I'm old. We pinched pennies or played marbles. Nothing wrong with that. Did you ever play jacks? I like jacks. I wasn't that good at jacks, but I like jacks. It's kind of like ping pong. I'm horrible at ping pong, but I love it. It's fun. You said Mario 2 isn't a Mario game. Fight me, kid. Fight me. It is a Mario game. Why do we have to downgrade and denigrate Mario 2 just because it looks different? Huh? Why do we have to talk trash? Why do we have to talk down on Mario 2 because Mario 2 looks different? I love you, Mario 2. We're not going to talk trash about Mario 2. Mario 2 belongs. Okay, so now we're understanding what a party line is. These lines where random teenagers will call, usually ended with crazy arguments because people would interrupt. And there was random racism. It was totally. So wait, so it sounds like party lines was like the forerunner to social media, right? Because we always talk about this generation. What really is so that's just what people do when they have some level of anonymity. In the past, it was party lines. Now in social media, and it always ends with random racism and crazy arguments. You know, if I were a young person of today, I would point to party lines in order to defend my people. Because if that's what we were doing back in the day, then that's more of a people thing. That's more of an America thing than it is a social media thing. Okay, so Kit says because Mario 2 is actually Doki Doki Panic with the Mario sprites put in it because Lost Levels was considered too hard for American. So you saying there's a different Mario 2 that was considered too difficult for Americans, if I understand you correctly. So you're saying that there was a different Mario 2, but it was considered too hard for Americans. So instead of putting out Mario 2, they took a completely different game and made it a Mario game, even though it was a different game. If I understand you correctly. And the Lost Levels is the actual Mario 2. Well, Sign me up for Doki Doki Panic then. I'm saying Doki Doki Panic is better than Lost Levels. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying they accidentally stumbled into a fire game. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Sign me up for Doki Doki Panic. And if there was a Doki Doki Panic 2, I need to play that immediately. I need to play that immediately. All right. And we got that out the way. My bad for last week. I didn't get a chance to do the live last week. I think that I'm recently been experiencing as the person on the teledoc informed me. Is it bad that I did a teledoc appointment? I meant to put this out on Twitter. Is it bad that I did a teledoc appointment and the dude had the smoke alarm beeping? Like in whatever office he was in, the smoke alarm was beeping. Should that diminish my trust and what he had to tell me, that apparently he's sitting in a room with a dead smoke alarm all day? I mean, I thought it was weird in the beginning. Like when he answered the teledoc appointment, I thought it was weird when I'm like, is this a doctor? Is this a hospital somewhere with a dead smoke alarm? That doesn't sound safe. It's a doctor with a dead smoke alarm. Like, it's a dead smoke alarm in the hospital. What room are you in, sir? What room? Are you in radiology, oncology? What room did you duck into with the dead smoke alarm? I feel like you should inform somebody. As opposed to taking a teledoc appointment, I think you need to inform somebody that this room is not safe because a fire could break out in this hospital. Or this is a completely random person somewhere in a closet who has convinced the teledoc people he is a doctor, who needs to take this teledoc appointment so he can afford batteries for his smoke detector. I don't know. But anyway, he seemed to know what he was talking about. Maybe he had those encyclopedias from that video. Maybe he had those. You can do that now. You know what I mean? Now with his teledoc. I mean, I do it all the time in giving presentations. Like, you can have your information just all over here. You know what I mean? Just, yeah. Because people are not even expecting you to look at the camera because they know that, your screen is different from the camera. So people are accepting of you not looking at the camera. You can just be reading. Did this man just give me an AI appointment? I think this man used AI. If you pay for AI and AI can just listen to all the stuff I'm saying, wow. Huh. Maybe I don't need to do none of that stuff he was saying. In any event, apologies I wasn't here last Thursday. Apparently I've been experiencing, as smoke detector teledoc told me, some food intolerance. Not quite a food allergy, food intolerance. As he informed me, if you have a true food allergy, your body will try and get rid of it as soon as possible, which means it could go either way. I didn't have that problem. So he said that it's probably a food intolerance. All I know is it was rough. It was rough. I was in rough shape and I was in no condition to do the live. And so I was unable to do the live last Thursday. I apologize for that. What I actually did was, I've never quite done this before. Like, I woke up at like 11 and I felt terrible and I was tired and I went and laid down on the couch over there and I just let myself sleep. I didn't even set an alarm. When was the last time you let yourself sleep without setting an alarm? I can't even remember. Like it probably for any amount of time. Like it probably and granted, I guess some people just fall asleep. I don't just fall asleep. I actually have pretty good control over that. It's a blessing and a curse. Definitely keeps you up in a lot of bad spots, but sometimes your body needs to sleep. And I'm fighting it. I'm just fighting a good fight. Like I'm out here like Soda Popinski. You know what I mean? Just taking the abuse. So anyway, I just let myself sleep without setting the alarm. And that felt great. That felt really, really good. Until I woke up and it was like 1:50. And I was like, wow, I look like a crackhead. And I feel terrible. Are we about to do this live? And I was like, no. You need to take care of yourself. So I did. So that is the reason why I did not do a live. I still have to figure out like what's going on. We'll see. I mean, my wife told me that it's been like a month it's been like monthly that this has been happening. So I got to figure that out. In any event, speaking of my wife, want to wish any of you mothers out there a belated happy Mother's Day, which I couldn't tell you last week because I wasn't here on Thursday, and wish you a happy belated happy Mother's Day. I got a chance to go to church with my mom, and I also got a chance to see her yesterday because my mother's birthday is on the 15th, right after Mother's Day. So it's always like boom, boom for her. So I got a chance to go out and take her out to eat for her birthday, which felt good that she was appreciative of that. And I also want to wish my wife a happy Mother's Day as well, because us being so close to my mother means that a lot of Mother's Day is spent on my mother. So I want to wish her a happy Mother's Day and thank her for having the selflessness to give it up for the matriarch. And I'm very appreciative of that. One of the things I also want to do on my Thursday lives is give like props to, I mean, I showed some of the videos that got me through my week. Eric caught the Soda Popinski reference. Appreciate you for that. I need to get an emulator. I had an emulator on like 4 or 5 laptops ago. I had an emulator, and I even had like I even bought controllers. Like I had Bluetooth controllers to play my emulator. And you know what? I would totally do that again. I would 1,000% do that again. I imagine now they should have it for VR. Have they figured out how to get like how to play? You guys are so, you guys know all the stuff. So I'm putting this out to you guys. Can I get an emulator today? Is that still a thing that people do? And do they have it for VR? That's my question for y'all. Kit, of course, Kit. I run emulators for everything from Atari through PS3. For my Android, I use a PS3 controller to play. Can you do it for a Mac? Wait, you run emulators for everything. You run it for your Android, so you do it on your phone? So you do it on your phone. You do hate Apple. You definitely hate Apple. I know that. Hey, be humble. I hope you don't got no Apple products. Do you want to work with Kit? I kid. So I want to give props to other channels that I appreciate. So I have spent so much time because I had a lot of free time in the last week to watch content. I spent so much time watching Prim's Hood Cinema, Primm. Prim's Hood Cinema is hilarious. I don't know if you have ever watched something that makes you envision what it would be like if you had the technical ability, but it's making all the jokes that you would making all the jokes that I would make. That's Prim's Hood Cinema. It literally, I watch it and I'm like, that's incredible, bro. Like that is incredible that's what you have to say. Like I love it. I love it. It is so funny. So anyway, I want to give a shout out to Prim's Hood Cinema for getting me through my week. Shout out to that brother, who's also, I believe I saw on the video, he's from Maryland. So shout out to my Marylanders from my home state. I also want to give a shout out to this gentleman, YC Imaging. I've watched a couple of his videos about creating content first when I was starting out. And this video happened across my suggestions on YouTube. And I want to play it for you. At least the beginning of it. So
AI optimizes my schedule. This meeting got canceled. Hooray! We didn't really.
I'm gonna one take this because I don't want to have to cut this at all. This is gonna be completely raw. My son in the background talking. I gotta do what I gotta do. All right, I want to start this video off by saying, yes, I am selling everything for $5. If you have ever wanted to support me beyond just watching these videos, because I do 100% appreciate all of y'all who do watch these videos. But if you've ever watched these videos and I helped you out, inspired you in any way, and you wanted to support beyond that, but you just didn't have the funds to do so, right now is the time to do it. All right. Every season or so, I like to set my entire digital store on sale for $5 and sell everything for just $5. It gives y'all an opportunity to get the products, and it also gives y'all an opportunity to support for the people who do want to do so. So products that were $30, now $5. $20, now $5. It doesn't matter what the price is. Everything in the store is $5. Transitions, LUTs, guides, kits, it's all kinds of stuff in the store. So go check it out. It's going to be a link down in the description. Also just dropped a brand new grunge transitions pack a couple months ago, probably a month ago right now, $5. So if you wanted it, get it now on discount. All right. You good? You good? All right. All right.
So this video is titled, I'm selling everything for $5. Here's what I'm going through. Great title, by the way. Great title, because I immediately was like, what happened? You know what I mean? You hear everybody. Me, I've been around long enough to know his channel, to know that he does this $5 sale periodically. I'm thinking he's having everything must go sale to raise money because something horrific just happened. But I kept watching.
All right, man. I debated on the title for this video because I didn't know if I wanted this to stay up or if I was just going to delete it after the sale on the store was up. By the way, the sale is going to be going all week. But I debated on the title for this and if I wanted to keep it, because I never really do personal update type videos on the channel anymore. It's just not really my vibe. I've always felt like if I wanted to change something or if I had something meaningful to tell y'all, I could just reflect it in the content and you'll get it that way. But I got some things I'm going through right now that I kind of just want to talk about.
I totally respect that. And that is basically my approach to the other channel. That's basically my approach to the first channel, is that, things I'm going through will be reflected in the content, the choice of content, and how hard I go in that particular content. But obviously this channel is more open, right? So I'm talking it out on this channel. This channel is more freeform, but I totally get that.
And I'll probably delete this video in a little while. So if you watch it, you do check it out, it'll be, I guess, a benefit to you. Not a benefit. It'll be a treat to you, I guess. All right. So first things first. Women are some of the most remarkable beings on the planet, and they go through so freaking much. They always hormonal. They bleed 1 week out of every single month, and they have children. And when they have children, their body has to do a lot of reconstructing to even build a child in a safe way. And a lot of women don't even get to have kids. But in that process of creating a child and the organs going in different ways to make room for the baby, after it's born, the organs have to go back into the space where they originally were. And for a lot of women, that just doesn't happen. And that's currently what my wife has been going through. If y'all don't know, I never really talk about my personal life anymore, but I have 2 sons, both by my wife. And she has prolapse, or she had prolapse. And it's different types of prolapse. You can look it up if you want to. You probably don't want to if you're a man, because the whole concept is just insane. But essentially what it is.
I did not look it up.
Is like your organs are in places that they aren't supposed to be. And for her, her bladder was just kind of all screwed up from having kids. And that's something that she had to get fixed in a surgery. And that's just what she recently went through. It's an extensive surgery. It's not super long, but the process of it and the things that they do are just insane. Imagine somebody having to like tie your organs to another part of your body to make sure they aren't hanging or, being where they aren't supposed to be. That's essentially what she just had to go through. So she's good. Everything is great. She's in recovery right now. But what that means for me is that I'm the primary parent, and I'm doing all the stuff that I am just so blessed and fortunate to have her do all the time as the primary parent now. And in turn, it's just affecting me in a way where I can't really be super out there creatively. I'm not finna see nothing super creative where I'm out doing all these different things and putting in weeks and time into videos because I'm the primary parent. That means I got this little guy over here. I'm watching over him. He's in the background. And that's just what it's going to be for like the next 8 weeks or so. And it's good in terms of being around the family, but creatively, it just kind of sucks, because I got to kind of tend to this. So a good thing about it is that you guys probably will see me more. The bad thing about it is that the videos won't be as large as they once were. Just over the next couple of weeks or so. She'll be back in a couple of weeks and she'll be able to do her thing. But right now, this is just what it is. So, if y'all see me in the next couple of weeks, the videos aren't up to par in terms of creative content. Just know that I'm just trying to be on the scene. I'm trying to stay active. And this is what I got to do it. This is the way that I have to do it.
So I really felt that. I really felt that. Deeply. I don't know him personally. I've seen his content, but I really felt that deeply. It was very timely that I happened to see that right after Mother's Day, because it really gave me so much gratitude and such a perspective for the window that I've been afforded right now to be able to pursue all of these, all of these exploits with you guys. And my wife has been the one that's made that possible. She's 1,000% been the one that made that possible. And I felt this on a deep level because it's like when something happens, when you see something happen to somebody and you realize, yeah, but for the grace of God go I, right? Like I am 1,000% vulnerable to that. Could happen to me like at any time, right? Because of the load that my wife carries, that is 100% enabling me to, freeing me up to be able to have these kinds of conversations and put out the videos I've been able to put out on the other channel and do social media and all that kinds of stuff. And so I think about the team that I have, and I think about my editor that I have over here, and I think about, guys like you that are some of you guys like Kit and people like that have been helping me out. I gotta think about my wife. Like she carries that burden that is such a huge weight off of my daily load, to the point where, I mean, you've heard how much things are impacted when you have like daycare closes for like a day. Daycare closes, whether it be a weather thing or whether it be that they were just sad and decided they wanted to close, or whether they saw that somebody didn't have power somewhere in the world, and therefore, in honor of the people that didn't have power, they're going to go ahead and shut down until they get power. Just whatever reasons they use to close. You see what an impact it has on what I'm able to do, right? You see what an impact it has on my output one day, and stepping in and being that primary parent, as my wife has been the primary parent for our kids. Stepping in and being that primary parent means keeping that load off of me on a daily basis. And I am very, very grateful for that. And I'm so glad that I saw that right after Mother's Day, because it was perfectly timed for me to have that change of perspective at that time, and to be able to express this. I wish I would have gotten to this, because I know my wife watches a lot of the lives, but her show starts at 3, so she normally has to tap out at like 2:30, 2:40 if she was watching it. She's been busy, but I wish I would have got to it earlier. But I'll point to it and tell her I appreciate you and love you very much. I appreciate you enabling me to be able to do this, and to be able to talk shit with the boys about ranking our Nintendo games. You're a real one. So, in that vein, this has been a fun live. I appreciate all you guys for rocking with me on the show. I always forget, it probably would have made sense. It probably would have made a whole lot of sense for me to let you guys know exactly where I am going live from before the end of the live. That probably would have been good, right? That probably would have been good, right? That probably would have been good. Yeah. I am over at Way of Waters on YouTube. So if you have a chance, go ahead and subscribe to YouTube. Those of you on Twitter or X, you can just go to YouTube and search in Way of Waters, or just youtube.com/Way of Waters. A lot of you guys are on my from my regular channel, which is at Reese Waters. So it's the exact same handle that I have on Twitter. So you guys can look that up, and I would love for you to subscribe to that as well. And of course, I'm always down for you guys to email me to get on my email list. A bunch of you guys have actually done that, and I very much appreciate you guys. I send out a newsletter every couple weeks or so you can email me at reese.waters@gmail.com, or if you have any suggestions for upcoming content, whether it be guests that I can have on this particular channel. And I haven't had a guest in a while, and I definitely want to do that. I'm like specifically looking for people that are in, people that are in this, this spirituality, meditative, mindfulness space that you feel like are entertaining and express it in a different kind of way. I would love that. Also comedians, since I have a comedic background and I came from stand-up, comedians who get into this kind of who kind of open themselves up to this kind of examination. I would love that too. So if you guys have any suggestions for guests, that would be super helpful. Obviously the other channel, Reese Waters, is politics and political. So if you have something going on, a bunch of you guys have recommended Marilyn Mosby to me and her plight, which is from right here in Maryland. And that's something that I looked into because a bunch of you guys suggested it. So I appreciate that. A bunch of you guys pointed me to the Maggie Haberman thing that came out of Trump's trial, and so I looked into that. I actually recorded that last night, so that's going to be out soon. That is an important aspect of both channels, is that it's a dialogue. So, you know, I'm always looking to hear from you guys, and I'm going to do what I can to put out more polls and community posts on this channel. I put them out on the other channel all the time. Like I put them out on the other channel every day, but I'm going to do my best to try and put out more stuff on this channel as well as we continue to grow. And that is it. I very much appreciate you guys. So in any event, you know, to be humble, who's there in the beginning, telling me that I'm late. A supervillain, Kit, Marcus, Eric Washington, obviously, Auntie Melanie, all you guys in the chat. I appreciate you guys very much. Benaloco, ML, I appreciate you guys very much for rocking with me on this live. I will be back next Thursday right here on this channel. I'll be back next Tuesday on the other channel. And in terms of content, I think I have a video. I think you guys probably have seen by now all the craziness that came out of Trump's last rally in New Jersey with Lawrence Taylor popping up. Yeah, I needed to talk about that. So that'll be tonight. I'm going in on Laura Ingraham. I think this week was like the most competitive. This week was the most competitive racist of the week we've ever had. Like it was like a dogfight for racist of the week. I already went and hit Ann Coulter, and I hit the Kathy Hochul. Well, Laura Ingraham. We're going in on Laura Ingraham tomorrow. That's going to be the Friday piece. I'm not sure what's happening Saturday, but the plan Sunday is Clarence Thomas. I'm going back in on Clarence Thomas and his clerks and the oh, what a nasty web he has weaved, which actually includes Laura Ingraham. I don't know if y'all knew that. She was a former clerk for Clarence Thomas, but we got that coming out too. And in terms of this channel, I have no less than 4 lives that I need to watch and review for content. So you guys can be looking out for that stuff as well. I will answer Marcus Smith. Am I a wrestling fan? On and off. On and off. I grew up a diehard wrestling fan. Diehard growing up. WWF as it was then, and then WCW. And then I put it down when I got to high school, or maybe junior high. I think junior high, I put it down. And in high school, we couldn't have TVs because I was living in the dorm, which pisses me off because we basically went 4 years without any culture. Meanwhile, kids now have all of the content they could possibly want. And that's going to be a rant. Hey, if next Tuesday I don't go off about this, who's going to definitely be here? Be humble, and Kit. You guys are the most reliable live viewers. If I don't go off about the dorms, internet, TV situation next Tuesday, remind me next Thursday, because I'm fired up about that. Matter of fact, I probably will do it on Tuesday because my boy Rashaka is coming. My boy Rashaka, I think, is coming on Tuesday to talk to me because he's like a great political brain. So I actually want to have a guest on a Tuesday. So I think he was going to join me and he could talk to me about that. So I probably will hit it on Tuesday. Anyway, that was an aside. So basically, we couldn't watch shit. When I was in high school, we couldn't watch nothing. We couldn't watch nothing because we couldn't have TVs. I had a little camping TV that you hide under the covers and turn the volume all the way down and watch Jerry Springer for 30 minutes before I went to sleep. Trash. All right, so I took like 6 years off, and then I went to college, and the guys in college were really into it. So I got back into it in college, which was dope because that was like The Rock and Stone Cold. That was that era, right? So I got back into it. And then after I graduated college, I got back out again. And I haven't really gotten back into it after that. Like last I saw was The Rock, Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho. China, Triple H, obviously, Big Show. That was kind of like the last, like early 2000s. I actually watch a decent amount of wrestling content on YouTube. Not new stuff. I don't watch anything new. Like I watch like what's that Vice show? Dark Side of the Ring. That's awesome. Like I'm told 1,000% in on that. 1,000% in on that. So yeah, I've been out of the wrestling game for a while now. I mean, I know about all the like Vince McMahon stuff he got going on right now. I know about ECW. I know about some things that have happened since then, but for the most part, I've been kind of out the game. Marcus, if I'm gonna put this in my to-do list for next Thursday. I gotta go off. If I don't go off about the dorms TV situation, then I'm gonna go off. We can talk some wrestling next week. I'm good with that. In any event, appreciate you guys for rocking with me. Subscribe to Way of Waters if you haven't already. I would much appreciate it. And I will see you guys next Thursday at 2:00.